For a very long time, or for a few years now, I would hear the phrase, don't confuse the map for the territory, or don't confuse the territory for the map. Same thing. And it feels as if with each passing day, this makes more and more sense that people of our age, of our generation, we keep confusing the map for the territory. We keep confusing the status for our value. We keep confusing what is genuinely important to what isn't important. And of course, over time, especially with the world we're living in today, if we're not careful, it's all we're going to consume, right? I mean, we can even argue at the end of the day, everything is an advertisement. Everything is an advertisement, but we can argue the fact that even when we're on our phones for how many hours of the day, how many of what we see is just an advertisement in some facet, whether it's a literal advertisement, whether it's someone that we think is pretty, that's in the form of advertising. Everything is a form of advertising. So when we're all advertising, right, obviously we're all advertising at all times. I'm advertising right now as a byproduct, I guess. But when we're all advertising, obviously good advertising lies for the most part. And I can't help but see that everything we see today is close to a lie. Everything we do, our actions, how we move. And unfortunately, unless the powers that be want this to change, it won't change. Or unless collectively we're able to recognize what is real to what is false. What is correct to what is not correct. The correct way to live, but what is the correct way to live? Is that even possible anymore? Is there a correct way to live? You know, we all struggle with so much anxieties and so much stresses, so many insecurities. And is there a solution? Some of us obviously have it worse than others. Some of us have it better. But the question is, how do we act as human beings? How do we act? What is the correct way to live? In a society where everyone is a celebrity, maybe true fame is being unknown, being stealthy, being not known. So the question, do we confuse the territory for the map? And if we do, how do we change that? How do we change? On top of everything else, how do we change? Because today we see the same rubbish being forwarded to us over and over again. And at first glance, it makes you feel like you're learning something. It makes you feel like you're actually, if it makes you feel like you're learning something, but you're not. You know, all this shit that we see on social media, it's the same shit, whether you're in the health space or you're in the money space or you're in the whatever space it's in. It's almost as if it's the same thing being sent to us over and over and over again until one day which just becomes normal to us, right? So at what point do we realize what is important? At what point do we realize we don't want to waste our days anymore? Because above all these books and above all these people that tell us what to do, regardless of their status, we keep forgetting one thing, and that one thing is ultimately being real to yourself. These are things that have been shown for the last hundred thousands of years in human history. Yet it's a clear indicator that we don't listen.